Hello, hello, hello. Happy fifth day, fifth chakra day, life path number 5 day from Learn Love Tarot. I am Angie, and if you're new here, welcome. And of course, welcome my returning subscribers. It was amazing to catch you guys with that ACEs reading on Sunday Fun Day. If you haven't seen it yet, I hope you will check it out. I just appreciate you being here. I'm going to be asking tonight what is possibly blocking diplomacy as we have our final test in Scorpio at its last degree before we transition to Mars and Sagittarius tomorrow. And the symbol for that is about allowing our wildness to be expressed in a measured way so that, and even sometimes that reveals our darker passions. So, for example, while not all the time we would stuff ourselves silly at Thanksgiving or do that every night, we are allowed to do that, or we allow ourselves to do that at Thanksgiving. We spoil ourselves and our loved ones at Christmas and at Halloween. No matter our age, we want to get dressed up and have some fun too. That's something I personally have never outgrown, nor do I want to. Hey guys, hey, thank you so much for coming in. Life Path 5, well, it's your day. And look at that, Judy. On our Life Path 5 day, we get a 55. So this is about going farther than we have gone before, taking a bolder step forward. So, in whatever situation we're going to be pulling on tonight, especially with Mars in the last degree at its anaretic test, that's going to be flowing to or trining, same thing, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, which is about becoming whatever we idealize. So, if we're dressing up for something for Halloween, maybe that's something that reveals a bit of our darker passions. And also could be like, hey, well, why aren't you doing this in real life? Okay. If you dress up as a magician, why aren't you a magician using all four aces of potential in your real life, for example? Also, other big news today in the astrology is that the North Node of Destiny and Fate has finally changed lessons, downshifted to 17 from 18. And Miss Kathy, here's your Easter promenade. So, celebrating with traditional public rituals. So, the North Node of Destiny and Fate's going to be calling us to participate in things. As a community, a promenade was a leisurely walk to display yourself, your family, your engagement, whatever it was in public, show off your outfits back in the day. And then the south node of karma, we have a volcano erupting. So these are what's going to be trying to balance here as the north and south nodes are like a teeter-totter. And this is what we can think of. We've got to release these emotional blocks. So maybe there's something pent up here and you've never really released it to its full potential. Maybe instead of screaming into a pillow, I don't know, you go take a boxing class or something like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, that felt fantastic. I think I'm going to do it again. So this is about releasing of emotional blocks so that they don't build up inside of us and manifest on a physical level, which would affect our physical health. And yeah, I know that to be true and for certain. And just a quick note here, if you go on my page at Learn Love Tarot, oops, and then you slide over to posts, you can see where I give the angel number information for the day, and this is about different perspectives and taking a chance, rolling the dice, spinning the wheel of fortune. Okay. My notes are there where I note the changes in the north and south nodes. And then I also note where Mars and Scorpio is trining Neptune and Pisces. That's at 29 degrees, 43 minutes at almost 11 o'clock here tonight. Eastern Standard Time. So we are going a little bit farther than we've gone before, huh? Let's see what is fueling this energy, environmental energy around us, going boldly and going farther where we've gone before than where we've gone before. We have a 55 being fueled by a 10. So in essence, that 10-10 portal energy, this is a whole new world. I feel like this is good news, and this is a shift in energy as far as pushing ourselves. And we are really curious at this point, and what a perfect environmental energy card to have our anaretic test in Scorpio in, diving into a task. So water representing of our emotions, and then we have these jellyfish here, which for me is high priestess energy along with whales. And then this farther gate, the gate is open here, guys. So this is pushing just a little bit deeper, pushes ahead just a little bit farther. By doing this, we get to do that. Okay. Just curious. And the 10 plus 1 plus 0 is 1. So how about them apples? A tidy house, clarity, and organization. Okay. Finally have clarity on perhaps why we do the things we do. And the sun is also wanting us today to keep open, difficult relationships with our skills in diplomacy, seeing something from a higher perspective, as does Venus. An airplane hovering overhead. I don't know if you saw an airplane today as a symbol or sign that felt out of place. So it wouldn't be something you've seen all the time, but this would be a nod that this is diplomacy regarding love. Okie dokie. And then I know we all love owls here. So Mercury in Sagittarius is at its last of the theme of the first 5 degrees of hopefulness. And this is an old owl up in a tree. And this is about seeing the light within the darkness. So we have a cave here, and then the light starts coming through. So our own personal light bulbs may be coming on. Maybe we're taking a step toward our ascension. This would be the Hierophant energy. Peace be with you. He holds the keys. And then that sister energy, we have Archangel Michael himself wielding his sword of truth, and this balance. We could consider that just like the north and south nodes, and just like what we're supposed to be trining here or flowing to Mars and Neptune, our dreams. What is it that we really, really, really idealize and that we want for ourselves? And once we dive deeper into ourselves, where's this going to take us? Okay. So at the end, I'll be doing all signs to ask be what might be blocking our diplomacy. So kind of start thinking about if you want me to pull cards for swords, hearts, or cups, whether you want that to be pentacles, time, money, energy, resources, etc. And that could be, what are my blocks in love? What are my blocks over money? What are my mental blocks? Let's go ahead and get our general spread out on the table for you. All right. Kind of feel like I want to get a new Souls on Fire deck here. They're so bent. I'm really hard on my cards, but I like how sturdy they are. But it's taken such a long time to get them warmed up here, but they are juicy with information. So, hey, Miss Peg. Hey, Brandy, Jude, Diana, Crystal. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate and love you all so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Miss Brandy, Jennifer, Brett's in the house. Thank you so much. And yes, I have on blue again because that is the throat chakra. So, Miss Jennifer's here. Thank you again. So what are we voicing? How are we diving deeper in our conversations? Miss Monique is here too. Appreciate you guys. Want to make sure I'm saying hi to everybody. I think I have so far. Okay, let's go here. Let's see when we get a flyer here, whether they are pre-reading messages. The first card out is going to be your energy. So we want to know how can we utilize diplomacy here in the best way to become what we idealize? Okay, that's an awful big chunk. Diplomacy much, so that is head and heart alignment itself of the chariot, and what we may be stopping or transforming here just in this pre-message is working, doing the most, all maybe too much time working, not enough time playing, not enough time doing our own magic with the black cat here and the Queen of Wands. And remember, these sunflowers that are shown in the court cards of the fire signs are because sunflowers turn themselves towards the sun, right? Our solar plexus chakra guides us towards our joy and towards our happiness, and in essence then bringing in more balance. Okay, so more fun, less work here so far is a way that we can bring in our own balance. Yeah, we're just doing the most there, guys. And again, diplomacy and conversations, not really the Knight of Swords strong suit. They can, that's a Gemini energy. They can change their minds pretty quickly, but can also be very, be able to see both sides of a situation. Okay, so there's some healing here from a Three of Swords. Maybe we didn't witness diplomacy here in our childhood with this mother and daughter, but when this character is finished with his healing, he'll be able to grab his own sword of truth regarding the Hierophant. Okay, well, Venus is in her last decan of Libra, so that will be our Four of Swords. Okay, healing so that we can go farther than we have gone before. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay, and that is going to be fueled by our Hierophant energy, our lesson learned. Okay. And then situation is victory after a long battle. I like that there's going up into the air and then diving deep into the ocean, because that couldn't be more opposite. And fueling this victory is a higher level of consciousness. So that was in the symbols today. So this is literally Venus and Libra, guys, because a hovering airplane is all about a spiritual perspective, because a realized person takes a higher position of awareness that allows them to see both sides of a matter. So by diving deeper, maybe asking different questions, we can get deeper into our own truth or into the truth of this person's situation here. Let's see what else we got going. The opportunity is to act quickly. So literally, I was just talking about the Knight of Swords as Gemini energy, which is then going to be trining Libra, the other air signs. Now, what's fueling this guy's like hauling ass, but then he's also dragging his foot here at the same time. Okay, I'm going to put this guy down here for ease. Now, what are we hauling ass towards? Some kind of new collaboration. So there are two people here. Speaking of Gemini, we see the twins energy here. This would be Capricorn or cardinal energy. So there's either an expert that is putting the work to the plans that you have, or it's you and a partner calling in this expert. This is definitely about, it could even be just a new way to do teamwork. Maybe you're picking up some speed here in the way that your energy trines. We have Mars trining Neptune. Our dreams are building our dreams, and that looks like it's going to be picking up pace here with this special 22 card of raising consciousness. That is how we achieve victory. I also noticed there's another rabbit reference for Cancer is in, Hygeia, the asteroids in retrograde in Cancer. And that's rabbits dressed in clothes and on parade. And that's about finding both inner guidance down here and outer guidance evenly. Okay. And Hygeia is all about prevention. It's our preemptive strike, or it's how we ensure our own growth. Okay. Let's look at the recent past. Something has ended here. What was fueling this ending? Just losing sleep over whatever's been turning in our minds. Okay. Hey, Miss Ashley. So this is something that you have not been able to get out of your mind, perhaps regarding some type of commitment or simply a lesson that you're learning. Whatever this is being healed, and this Nine of Swords behavior has come to a halt in order that we can heal this fear of a broken heart. The heart of the reading, there it is again. So, you know, when they repeat themselves from the free shuffle, that they are important. So the heart of the reading is about becoming this expert, becoming being the protege. Fueling that is a 10 of Pentacles. So this is someone in our midst that has reached the pinnacle of Pentacles, that is teaching us, or that has been a teacher of sort for us, perhaps even how to get out of our own way, how to get out of our head, how to dive deeper into our psyche. Some of us could have recently started counseling of some sort. Let's see, in the near future here is confidence returning. Stella getting her groove back. Stella or Stan getting their grooves back. Fueling that Queen of Wands is information, the Page of Swords, researching about what ways we can turn our solar plexus, be led by our own joy, and reach for our own sun. This brings in confidence. This can even be, it can be spying energy. And this could be, if this is another person for you, if you want to think about this as yin and this as yang, feminine and masculine energies within ourselves or in a union. The Page of Swords is the learner. So it is definitely something to do with time, money, energy, resources, diplomacy skills maybe are required at work. For me, it feels like there's a better balance of work-life balance. So there's more time for you to dive deep within your own self. Let's see what the block here is. Six of Pentacles. So in reverse, that is an inequality. And anytime whatever cards show up in the block position, remember that the energy is here. So just to be aware of if this has been an issue in the past where we've accepted jobs that didn't pay us for the work that we've done. We put more time into something. So, you know, that trap of a salary where, oh, it sounds like a great salary, but yeah, they expect you to devote your entire life and your work week to it. So that is not an equal balance, right? In the environmental energy, going back and forth between two modes of thought, between fear and loyalty. Okay. The full light of the moon and then the darkness of a new moon. And remember, that's in reverse as well, not being able to tell. Maybe we have felt that our head and heart obviously have not been in balance, especially seeing that Chariot card out the gate. That's the energy coming up in a couple days. So this is kind of secrets too. So maybe there's a secret being revealed in the light of the full moon in Taurus coming up regarding Taurus energy, Six of Pentacles. Okay. So wherever Taurus is sitting in your chart, guys, I believe that's a 13-degree, 22-minute full moon. So this is what looks like the block here. And as far as the revelation of light, this being turned around, what we haven't seen before was out of balance. We're going to see that for what it is. That's what the light of the moon is going to reveal. What does Spirit want us to know? Oh man, I just was talking about the Chariot. Spirit wants you to know this is going to pick up fast. This has been the long battle, but you have arrived in whatever situation this is. You might have recently felt like you've gone, ooh, ear squeezy, gone through a period of enlightenment. If we see the Hermit energy, that could even mean that we've just finished up a dark night of the soul or are about to enter one. Okay. Definitely the Nine of Swords can be indicative of the pain that that causes. So whatever we had been not able to sleep about before, whatever was keeping us up at night, has come to a close. All right. Just plugging in my computer here real quick to make sure I don't lose you. Okay. Guys, I bought this. It's basically an adult onesie. And I love it. It has a bra built in it and everything. It is so flippin' comfortable. And I'd show you, but not tonight. Okay. Yep. Here's this there's an inevitability here that we are going to move towards this balance. This energy is going to be righted because you put a stop to something. Only you'll know what that is. And this judgment call here with that Scorpio energy, this lesson has been resurrected for us so that we can raise our own consciousness and get towards the victory of our best and highest timeline this lifetime. Life comes at you fast. We want to make sure when we get into that chariot that we already feel like a winner. So that is what we are manifesting, the feelings of already having that win. Okay, this could be a person. Let's see what our outcome energy is. You are standing your ground moving forward as you insist on balance. You're not having it. Anything that tries to push you out of alignment or out of balance, you're making your stand. You're protecting your time, money, energy, and resources here. You value your time a lot more. We understand that time is money, time is of the essence, and it's not infinite, unfortunately, our time on this earthly plane. And driving that Seven of Wands, you're insisting on a new leap of faith here. The new beginning is coming. And by you standing your ground and upholding your boundaries, that's how this balance comes in. That's how we achieve this final act of victory. Okay. This is really incredible right here, guys. A 22 and a 20. 42 is a 6 energy of the lovers, the yin and yang that I was speaking to. Let's look at, I want to extend this outcome here a little bit. Two of Pentacles doing the most. Queen of Pentacles taking ownership. So the Queen is pushing back on anything out of balance. Wow, I like the repetitiveness already and so quickly. Usually I've got to dig a little bit deeper into the energies to get this clear of a message. But Taurus full moon, I mean, Taurus is usually pretty straightforward in readings for them. Okay, 10 of Cups situation here. That would be the Neptune energy of 30 Pisces becoming whatever it is that we idealize. Could involve a Capricorn here. We do have the asteroid Diana, which is about single child-free women, independence. It can be same-sex relationships sometimes here, but you're really taking ownership of this Queen energy. Your confidence then in the near future here brings us the ability, doesn't matter if we're male or female, brings this ability to uphold our boundaries so that we don't get this lemniscate here out of balance. Because look at that. I mean, balance, balance, balance. All right. 6s are 2 3s on each side. 8s are 2 4s on each side. 3 3 again. 22, even Stevens, 10s, even like everything is about, even wrote in my note, even Stevens. So this is around the, let's see, 5 of Cups. We've just exited out of Scorpio. And what was dragging us down here, what we possibly are ready to look at the truth of, is that our own imbalance here, focusing on the 3 cups, is what threw us out of imbalance. This is a change of mindset here, guys. Boy, am I glad to see this. Wow. I am so glad to see that. Let's look at how are we upholding these boundaries? And then I'm going to ask about that Page of Swords. Oh, no. Is that right, Ashley? Okay, I'll see ya. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, it's just not worth it. I mean, people, they will work you to death, and we teach people how to treat us. And if we stay one night overtime for no pay, they're going to expect you to at least do it at least another time. So keep those boundaries up. 10 of Cups, of course, is everybody within our circle, no matter how large or small that circle is. But you are jumping off here. Again, the jump off, especially with 10 of Pentacles in the heart of that. What are we pushing back on here and just is out of balance? It's of course different for everyone. Nope, change the question. Where does our chariot want to go? Toward our passion. Crossed by the 3 of Cups, Cancerian energy. Okay, these are both cardinal energies here. The architect, making the plans, setting up the party. Fixed signs of the kings would be the workers. And then our mutable signs of Pisces and Gemini, Virgo as well. There's 3 energies here, 3 energies here. Whatever we've held back from this new start. Yeah. What have we held back from a new start, and why? With those tulips of the Lovers, because you got to walk towards your own Ace of Cups here. Looks like passion's going to be leading us toward that, just like the yellow solar plexus, where that leads us. Now, what about this Page of Swords? The song of the day today was I Blame the Bar. And that is all. That's why I wrote even Stevens. She says, no, I don't blame you that it didn't work out, even if I used to. Baby, I don't know now. It was different 2s for 1s, or life was different. Buying 2-for-1 drinks, being young, and that's young and dumb, and that's okay. Every boy's got to go through, or excuse me, everybody's got to go through that. Wow. So as I'm talking about that song, regarding who might be keeping an eye on you here, and then I'm talking about there's 3 people in that card, 3 people in that card. There's that looky-loo over your shoulder here as I'm asking who's spying. And then as I'm talking about that song, she has met an ex at the bar, and she's like, I don't hold any grudges anymore. We were young. It's just we were young and dumb. We were buying cheap 2-for-1 shots, and those kinds of things happen. And I don't blame you at all. I blame the bar. Okay. Throwing caution to the wind. This person wants you to have a new start with them. I love that there are pyramids here in the background, indicative of this 6 of Cups energy, which is a very deep soul tie. Someone you've known for a long time, even years, but you've piqued their curiosity here. They definitely might just be looking at your pictures because you're gorgeous. They're interested in what you're creating. It's just that your energy has changed. So when our energy shifts, People we haven't heard from in a while, or even higher vibrational frequencies, are now magnetized toward us, right? So this is someone here who wants to, Pisces energy wants to offer a cup of love. And there's that fire again with the strength card and of this lemniscate. Maybe they threw you out of balance in the past, kept you in your head. And now you've learned this lesson. You're like, it's just not as attractive. And, or it's just a conversation of, no, that's silly. I don't blame you. We were kids. And even though this knight is offering his cup and holding out the cup, the horse is stationary. Okay. So wanting to throw caution to the wind, but their horse is stopped right now. They could be balancing within themselves and getting out of their mental energy as well. Maybe you make each other regress to that mental energy. Okay. Perhaps. And we haven't seen the Page of Cups. Page of Swords was the only page that did not show up in that Aces spread. I'm curious here. What is this? Also looks like our Knight of Wands flipped there. What is this 10 of Cups fueling the 10 of Pentacles fueling the 8 of Pentacles? What is the 10 of Pentacles? Who is this teacher? Or what is this 3D reality here you're working so hard on? I know it's different for everyone because pentacles be that way of the 3D, but I just want to see if I can get something. Oh my gosh, can't make it up. This is all I've been talking about, our own happiness, our solar plexus chakra. Communicating 8 of Wands. That's where Mercury is right now. And the first decan of Sagittarius. So I'm asking, who is this teacher? And we have the old owl up in a tree, which is this seeing light in the darkness. Owls can signify Hierophant energy. So this teacher is teaching you about how to communicate perhaps your happiness, what it is, what you want, a renegotiation of some kind of contract, teaching you how to not be afraid of what it is. So I know it's weird, but you'd be surprised. People manifest all the time, but then they self-sabotage subconsciously because they're actually afraid of having that happiness once they achieve it. And then what do I do? So this is really about exploring the depths of your happiness. What does make me happy about time? What does make me feel good in my energy, having time to meditate? Because this lesson, this inevitable lesson of, are you going to stay or are you going to go? The Chariot energy is the path of change. And the change is moving into something balanced that we fearing our own happiness. That's what I was just talking about. I said, I know it's weird, but people manifest the things, and then when they get them, they sabotage it because they're afraid they can't really have it. They're afraid that they're not good enough for it. Queen of Cups. That's heart energy, mother energy. The classic example of money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, it does. Okay. And we're relearning that. So there could be a fear of our own happiness about achieving great sums of money or a great love. This Queen of Cups is the most love in the entire deck on offer. And when we communicate love to our own selves, when we work really hard on that, here comes this victory. And we've got haul and ass to balance here. Wow. I'm impressed with that. Okay. Nice. You tidying up your house, everybody. That's in the very least. Hey, Miss Jana, how are ya? Now, I'm going to be asking about what is blocking diplomacy for all signs. If you would like me to pull a specific blocking card for you in that chat box, go ahead and you can either put work, love, mind, thoughts, Whatever it is, time. What are my blocks about time? What are my blocks about resources here? So, what are the blocks toward diplomacy? And we've got balance cards in the whole dang bottom row. And we've got even numbers that can be split into two all down the center rows. Even Stevens. We're not mad anymore. We've got a higher perspective. We understand the soul lessons of something. We can release and let go of that anger. And we can let off that steam as our test so that our passions don't overwhelm us. All right. For this reading, what is the block to diplomacy here? And we got a dropper on the floor. Okay. Losing ourselves. Okay. So telling others too much all at once. Sit back and listen more. And also losing ourselves within partnership here. Feeling lost in your partner. It's okay to be yourself and have your own life too. So literally that is the nodal lesson that we just finished up in January between Aries and Libra. Independence and autonomy, but within committed partnerships. Okay. Not so easily changing our mind. Again, very, very fast, Hall and asterisks towards this balance. Okay. Crossing energies. This is stuck in the past, and we see that in the energy of lament there, with him focusing on the 3 broken cups. Let go of your ex completely so you can truly welcome new love into your life. And that's literally the last few cards of the outcome energy, the full 5 of cups, 10 of cups. Wow. You don't let others know you're interested. Flirt and be approachable. Maybe that's why this person is kind of in this spying energy. And then you're like, okay, well, they asked me out, or I know they like me. They've given clear signals. This is not like wishful thinking here as far as going forward with somebody because you're convinced that they like you. What are the signs that they've shown you? Right? What have they shown? Have they shown you that are things that are friend zones, or have they shown you things that let you know that there's a romantic interest? Okay. And maybe this person has been giving you mixed signals and you're like, I don't know what you want from me here. Okay. That could be for some, not all, but I mean, it looks like, again, letting go. 10 reduces to the Ace of Cups. This judgment call for your own enlightenment, learning this big part of this lesson in diplomacy and not blame. Balancing head and heart. What did we learn there? Okay, so that's for this reading, which is going to be regarding Scorpio, advice for Scorpio sun for this reading. All right, well, let's go through the rest of the signs here and find out what is blocking diplomacy. There's Miss Kaylee. Okay, what is blocking diplomacy here? Now, this is just in general, since we got our Scorpio sun reading here. We'll start with Scorpio signs, whether this is you or them. Eye candy. Beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and personality. Okay, whether that person's a Scorpio or you're a Scorpio or have strong Scorpio placements. And that is fueled by rushing. You can't hurry love. The right one is coming in perfect divine timing. Wow. Okay, let's move on down the line to Sagittarius. What is blocking Sagittarius from diplomacy? Okay, giving your partner some breathing room or being too needy. That does not sound like Saggy energy. So maybe that's your person, Sagittarians, kind of, I've found them to be opposite, right? They're like the traveling Wilburys. They can just take off and go whenever they want to go. They're going to do what they want to do. So that's what's throwing you out of balance here if you're a Sag, because that's not your MO. You're usually very balanced there, especially in communications. 8 of Wands, very wise. Even if you're a younger person, people might have said, how did you get to learn so much in such a short amount of time? But that sounds, that's what the block to diplomacy is, because for a Saggy, I mean, they don't really have problems, at least not the Saggies I know, with attachment. Okay. So if the block is that you're too attached, get back into that that sagginess, that sassy sagginess of your energy. Okay. And I didn't even ask for Capricorn yet, but look at that. They wanted another one here. You must release old ties in order to have a fresh start with someone new. We've got leap of faith over here, remember, and that would have been a book ending with the 10 of Cups, somebody already within your sphere of influence. Okay, that is for you, Sag. That was kind of like, they're like, nope, they're hanging on to something. It's an attachment issue. Okay. Let's look at Capricorn. What's blocking Capricorn from diplomacy? What's blocking Capricorn from even Stevens? We don't want you to get into that chariot half cocked there. We don't want to drive that chariot off the road. What is blocking Capricorn currently here from diplomacy? And we do have that volcano erupting again in the South Node. So if we have a tendency to hold on to emotions and they come out in awkward ways that do not behoove us, then that is what we're being called here to do. Okay, this is way too much. But for Capricorn, seeking perfection, everyone has flaws. Choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter. Okay, I used to do this as a cheer coach, and I want to put it into adult fun lessons and do a little workbook on it of how we pick from 1,000 adjectives, highlight every single quality that you are seeking in partnership, for example. Then you go through and circle only 10 of them. That's your top 10. Then I gave them little dollars where they could put their top 10 on. Then you can only pick 5 that are your deal breakers. Your number 1, your number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that helps you differentiate whether we've gotten attached to something unhealthy, lest we lose ourselves, right? Needing rescuing, you're waiting for love to save you, but you must stop waiting and start looking. Becoming an expert on what do I got to do for myself to attract the energy that I am wanting here. Maybe feeling the block is feeling unloved there, Capricorn, and feeling like, when is my person coming? Well, remember that we can only meet someone at the same level that we know our own heart. Okay, and the environmental energy, if you're seeking perfection, every time you turn around, you're going, nope, not my type. Okay, but how about be open to different types of people, because you may be surprised what you find. Grab a quick little sippy up. I love these pop wells. If you haven't had them yet, they are so good. So maybe this person that's spying Capricorn, definitely someone that has been in your life for a long time. Maybe they're awkwardly trying to go out of the friend zone and you've given no signals. And you're like, what the hell? Not my type. And indecision here, afraid to make a mistake so you won't commit either way. Okay. Can be. Sorry, Cappy. I know that's my North Node in Cappy. That can be a problem. There's no such thing as perfect. We are imperfect ourselves, and when we seek perfection, that blocks diplomacy. It blocks us using head and heart. All right, so let's go right into Aquarius. I'll start an air column over here. I'm going to move these guys out of the way. All right, Aquarius. What's blocking Aquarius energies in our chart around us or within ourselves from diplomacy? Okay, Aquarius, we're trying to change someone, and that never works. Accept them as they are or move on. We've talked about this and just in depth. I talk about it all the time. If we are trying to change a person in order to make them be okay for us, that's codependency. Okay. We either take them as they are or spend a lot of time being unhappy here. Let's see, pent up anger, which is literally what we are as humans here, while that lesson is in the lesson of karma, releasing emotional blocks so that they don't come out as rage. Having unresolved feelings from the past that makes us resentful towards others. Okay. Yeah, don't hold the anger in here, Aquarius, especially with Pluto, the planet of transformation, sitting there in your sign and your energy. We understand that inevitably, even if it's supposed to be a beautiful day, a thunderstorm is always possible, right? We don't get to go through life scot-free with nothing ever happening or blowing up our life, right? But certainly, expecting the other person to change, you have enough data on that person, and look at why you need them to change, why we're sticking around for something that may not be in our top 10 and certainly is the 1 through 5 of the deal breaker. Okay, crossing energy, being cold. So this person is either cold around you, or they think that you seem unapproachable because you're aloof. Well, that tracks for Aquarius. They just think it all the time. That's all. Where does that Aquarius sit in your chart? That's what's going to be experiencing the biggest changes of your entire life thus far through the next almost 20 years. So it's a pretty big deal. All right. That could be advice for all of us with that Pluto energy there. Okay, let's come back over to our water line. What is blocking diplomacy for Scorpio? Oh my gosh. So, kind of in the same vein here, remember that the sign before us is kind of like a precursor. We can learn from that energy. It's called a semi-sextile when you're only one sign away. You can't fix someone. They have to want to change. Accept them or let them go, Pisces. So again, this is what our test is in Neptune, becoming what we idealize. And in then doing so, that does attract the person that you don't have to fix. And in the environmental energy, this person could be not committed. If this is a Pisces that you're thinking of, always chasing or being chased, you must be willing to commit to one person. Okay. Or if we're overcommitted, like I know I can, you need to take that broken winged birds enter here sign. Okay. And that makes us we keep chasing happiness, right, outside of ourselves, rather than understanding it's what the lesson is, what we want for ourselves, then that is attracted in a partner. Oh, wanted another one, especially if they're not your type. If you know they're not your type, okay, again, maybe just give them a chance and you'll be surprised. But not your type is someone that you have to fix. All right, Pisces, someone that you don't have to fix. Okay, Aries, coming down my fire column here. So we've got the Sag to attached and holding on. And then what about an Aries? What is blocking diplomacy for Aries? What is blocking diplomacy for Aries? Oh, happy birthday, Jonna. Awesome. You guys are so sweet. I love how y'all have formed bonds, and it just makes my heart so happy. Aries. Boy, I don't really know Aries energy to feel indecisive. Remember, Chiron, the healer, is sitting in Aries at the symbol of a double promise. And that's about envisioning what we want to experience in the Four of Wands energy. Judgment energy right here. Okay, envisioning what we hope to experience. Is that Four of Wands experience? That's what could be coming up for judgment here that's been inevitable. It has to be equal action on both sides, or it's not really an 11-11. It's not really the Four of Wands, committed partnership, whatever label you deem to put on it. Don't be too quick to count someone out, Aries. Be open and give them a fair chance. Okay. And on the fueling energy, untrue stories. You can tell yourself bad things. So change your stories and see the good that can happen. We change our thoughts, we change our life, especially our words in when the veil's so thin here in Scorpio season, guys. What about for Taurus? See how quick and straightforward Taurus usually is. Okay. Taurus, what's blocking diplomacy is this person or situation here that you're having a raised consciousness about, is you don't really believe this is a match for you, but have an open mind. And I see two people here on either side of the wall with their backs to each other. So what the full moon could be revealing here, why things just aren't balancing. It's either a belief that you're not compatible, or you are just seriously not compatible, and Taurus doesn't want to take the risk of a new leap of faith, which would be the opposite of doing that is Scorpio energy. Okay, Taurus is a little more risk averse. What's fueling that energy? Not talking. Yeah, there's something happening here in a partnership, guys, that's going to be revealed. Full moon for all of us for Taurus energy. If you're not compatible, you're not compatible. You're not going to fix them into being compatible for you. Okay. And if you're sticking around, even not talking and kind of staying in this back to each other energy, too afraid to leave because you don't think there's any other good people out there. Okay. Wow. That feels like a full moon judgment for us all here coming up in a couple days. What about for Gemini? Going up here with Aquarius. Okay, air energies. What about for Gemini? What is blocking diplomacy? Guys, again, if you'd like me to pull a block for you, just let me know the context. You can type in work, love, money, time, thoughts, passion. Okay, so Gemini, what is blocking diplomacy? We're being too busy here. Using it as an excuse not to date. You must make time for your partner. You got too many plates spinning at once. This ambivalence, mutable energies can feel like that. And then on top here, insecurities, work on building confidence and feeling safe in your relationship. Well, the only way we do that is feeling safe within ourselves first. Somebody else cannot make us feel safe or not. Okay, Gemini, I feel like you're just like, I just don't really care right now. And that's throwing you, you're saying you don't care, but it might be a confidence issue there in whatever Gemini part of your chart is sitting. And we've got this being cold again. If you seem approachable because you're aloof, yeah, ambivalent. Gemini gives zero fucks. Okay. Reach out, be a little more friendly in wherever Gemini is sitting for you in your chart. Or if this person is a Gemini and they can't make the time for you, well, there's our answer, right? All right, I just got shuffle. We've got our last 4 signs here. Let's finish off this Cancer, the grand water trine in the sky. What's blocking Cancer from diplomacy? Okay, you gave up on love because you think you're meant to be alone, and it's just not true. You think things are black and white, but really there's so much gray in the in between. Remember, coming off of Gemini's lesson, it's not this or that, it's this and that can be true. Okay. Maybe you're like, okay, I don't want any more broken wing projects. And maybe we focused on, especially with our Scorpio energy, that heavy passion. We've gone for looks before, and you're like, there's nobody good looking. I'm just going to be alone. I might as well be alone. Or there's really, no one to mommy or fix. That is not what you're fated for, especially with Jupiter in Cancer energy right now. This is the lesson we just clicked over to. It is about a 7 of Cups, which on the light side is spoiled for choice. And on the shadow side is emotional fragmentation, being afraid to make a choice. And this is about the impermanence of social position. Despite whatever power we may possess, this is Jupiter and Cancer for everyone. Not if things are fleeting, CEO titles, right? That does not make you who you are. When we understand that CEO title or that Mr. title or Mrs. title in a marriage does not make us who we are, right? That might be wrapped around an identity, but the luck happens when you understand the impermanence of that and you're not basing everything on look at those 2 or 3 letters before my last name or at the end of my title, at the end of my name for my title. All right, in your environmental energy, settling. Don't stay with someone who isn't right for you just because it's safe. Again, water trine here happening with this deep dive. We are really heavily working on allowing people to be their own people and not accepting lower vibrational energies just because don't want to be alone. Okay. Or we settle because we feel like there's nobody good left, right? Okay. Don't stay with someone just who isn't right just because it's safe. That's not safety. Okay, Cancer. Remember, we're all experiencing this water trine in the sky. All right, Leo, let's look at this fire line here. Okay, Leo energies. What is blocking Leo from diplomacy? Okay, interesting. Wow. Okay, addictions. You're either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction. So help is needed. Okay, and coming off that Cancerian energy of wanting and water energies of wanting to fix, especially with attachment energies here. Wow. Okay, then this judgment call, that is definitely a big test of letting go of the bumper of something here so that we can reach a higher enlightenment. Lone wolf, are you really a loner or are you afraid of loving someone who could hurt you? Sounds like insecure attachment, avoidant type. Okay. If they love bomb and then it's a period of on again, off again, it could even be the dynamic of two people with insecure attachment, but one is avoidant and one is anxious. That dynamic, that loop never stops unless you do. All right. And the energy around Leo's energy, hard to get. You're missing opportunities by playing too hard to get. Give someone a chance. Okay. If you're seeing this person as a Leo or Leo energy, I see it, I want it, it's mine, then you may be the one in their environment thinking, like, come on, like, what are you doing here? What's this act with playing hard to get? I would likely say that is avoidance. Okay, insecure attachment, the avoidant type. All right, that is not a fun energy to deal with. Waste a lot of time with those. All right, what about for Virgo? What is blocking Virgo's balance? What is blocking Virgo's diplomacy? What is blocking diplomacy for Virgo? Ceres in Aries, by the way, was at 3 degrees 33 minutes of Aries today, and Cupid was at 4 minutes 40, so a 44. Cupid is in the sign of Libra, and that is all about true teachings are shown, Hierophant, not told by example. All right, Virgo, rushing. The block is rushing. You can't hurry love. The right one is coming in perfect divine timing. Criticizing your partner is driving them away. Focus on their good qualities, and love is the answer. Love won't solve your problems, so you need to work on independence here. That volcanic erupting, right? South Node Virgo. This could be a lesson for us all, what we're trying to release and let go of for our own betterment. Okay, we can't hurry love. And again, that's looking for something outside of our own selves to come in and save us. All right, Virgo, if your person's a Virgo, you could be saying this is lust, not love. Or Virgo, the person around you could be love, not lust. Passion isn't the same as lasting love. Don't get sucked in just by good sex. Well, that'd be hard to do sometimes. I think that can be forgiven in my personal opinion. Okay. No, not if it is a dynamic that never grows, because that is something that you can get stuck in for decades. Especially if you're getting crumbs. You deserve more than crumbs of affection. Okay, Virgo, wait for the one who fucking adores you. And you won't have to criticize so much. You won't get so mad. Okay. Especially if it's been building up. They're not going to change. Stop trying to change another person. Okay. You don't need that person's love because we're seeking that attention or that approval that that's just not coming, especially if they're an avoidant energy. Okay. Getting crumbs because of their anxiety, afraid to get close, and they're scared too. Wow. All right. Libra, what is blocking diplomacy for Libra? What you second and Peggy on, Miss Kath? I'll have to scroll. What is blocking diplomacy for Libra? What'd you guys think about, if you were there or had a chance to see it, what'd you think about the ACEs reading last night? Let me know. I haven't done one of those in quite a while. I thought it was fun for a Sunday fun day. Boy, this has come up quite a few times. Libra, the block is that you say they're not your type. So we want to be changing them, right? Okay, a little bit of ambivalence energy there, like acting like you just don't care, being open to different types of people because you might be surprised who you find. Okay, that has happened in my life. It's not very kind to say, but it was almost a repulsion. I was like, no, is a hard pass. Absolutely not, no. But then the intellectual connection, and then you can grow to like their looks, you know. I just watched that on Love is Blind France. If anybody's seen that episode, she was just like, oh, I don't know if I can do those looks, but then she ended up falling for him because he was patient and just let her grow her love for him. In the environmental energy, Libra, oy vey. Any kind of ABUSE is not okay. You deserve someone who treats you well. Libra, that is definitely not your type. Anyone that is not a healed person, that could be what you're standing your ground on here, not going back and forth anymore. Maybe that was the final straw. Rejection underneath that. Build confidence by exploring what others value in you through dating or other social interactions. Okay. You don't have to put up with a shithead just because we're afraid, bookending Cancer here, to be alone. Okay. Please. Let's find ourselves instead. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to be looking through the chat to see if anyone has commented here. If somebody is able to gather them all in case I miss some and put them in one part of the chat or just in one bloop, that would be great. Okay. Oh, thank you, Kathy. You enjoyed the ACEs reading? Good. Judy, you like that reading? And it doesn't matter, guys. Even I always find, like, if I'm 5 minutes in a reading, I'm like, no, that's not my reading today. It's no big deal. I always still freaking learn something, especially from Sassy Scorpio. She's the bomb diggity. Always learn something new. Oh, good, Diana. Interesting replay. Oh, Kaylee, well, we all love you. Absolutely. We all love you so much. Okay, I don't see, I could have sworn I saw okay, I see Peg with love, money, and passion. All right, let's see here. What might be blocking love, money, or passion from Miss Peg? And then after work, I see Brandy, but all in one spot. If anybody is able to do that, maybe you're at home on the computer instead of your phone and it's easier to type in, they could be in one spot for me, that would be super appreciated. Miss Peg, what is blocking love, money, or passion, or all three? That's just abundance, right? That's all Venus energy. What might be blocking love, money, passion for Miss Peg? You don't need to play games to keep the right person interested in you. So someone might be childish around you. So that's their block. They're just not on your energetic wavelength. This could be a person's fear of touch. Maybe you just don't want anybody to touch anymore. If it's this person that's played mental games and you don't trust them anymore, I could see why. Take small steps until you feel comfortable with that again. You're not really a procrastinating energy. Anything else for Miss Peg? Okay. Hiding feelings. You need to express how you feel to the one you love to see how they feel in return. Some beautiful roses on here. Well, that could either be the diplomacy being blocked here is because emotions are just not being expressed at all here, which is you can't be in the game if you don't know what the rules are, right? And we've got that card again that came in for Libra energy, which again is about Venus. That's where Venus is sitting right now, grasping spiritual concepts of what is this lesson with this person or within this situation that I'm supposed to be learning here. How can I rise above it, be that owl in the tree, and come from a place of wisdom? So if feelings haven't been talked about, I think that's step one here, Miss Peg. Okay, it's just talking about it. It can even be the way that you manifest to the universe. If we're not manifesting with feeling, if we don't already imagine and feel what it is that we desire, that we want to have, then us hiding our feelings from ourselves can't help the universe manifest bringing that in, right? Let's go ahead and come to Miss Brande. Ooh, that was nice. Okay, Miss Brandy for work. What is a block and work right now for Brandy? Jonna, is that a me too about work or just Kathy saying love work or love money passion? Okay, I got you. All right, Miss Brandy, what is a block currently regarding diplomacy at work? Couple here. I don't know if this is someone using all your resources, like hanging on your coattails here. Make friends and spend time by yourself to take the pressure off of a relationship. So if we're overworking or feel like we need to prove why we're the best person or the most useful person at that job, just be you. Fear of loss here is a block. Being afraid to lose someone or something, fear of abandonment. And this is saying take a chance. Take a chance. Environmental energy. Someone, if they are being needy or hanging on your coattails here, they could just have this fear of abandonment. They could share that with you. Not everyone cheats. Please open your heart and trust your partner. I used to think that you had to make people earn your trust, but what I found is that life is so much easier. I will give you my trust until you show me a reason not to, but then you have to follow through with that. Well, now you showed me who you are, in love or not, follow through with keeping those boundaries up. If it breaks the deal breakers, it breaks the deal breakers. Okay. But they might share that fear, or you might still have a sign hanging up on the broken bird, being the fixer. And then people take advantage of that, right? And they're always asking you for something. Are you the fixer of everybody's problems around you? Even at work. Okay. If they're not doing their job correctly, don't burn yourself out because they didn't do something correctly, right? Show them how to do it, and then compliment them and coach them about when they're doing better with it. Yeah, and yeah, fear, like not taking a chance to do something for block and work, like not really taking that big enough leap to do what you're actually capable of doing. Okay. I say go big or go home, Brandy. All right, for Miss Kathy, we're going to look at love, money, and passion for Miss Kathy, and then Miss Jana for her birthday. Kathy, love, money, or passion? Your own burnout, your own energy level is the block. You feel emotionally burned out right now, so retreat and recover before continuing. So if our energy levels get low, then everything start to those plates start falling off their spinners, right? You're doing the most all the time for everyone. You got to replenish your heart's cup here, dear. That's big time blocking. Some mental blocks, untrue stories, telling yourself bad things. We said this already. Change your stories and see the good thing that happens, the good things that happen. We change our mindset, we change our thought patterns, then we change our life. We are not confused. I feel like we all need to do that emotional currency exercise. I know we ain't 12-year-old cheerleaders, but it's super fun. And I think it would be really beneficial to see if our needs and our wants and what value has changed here. So it's like mental stress, that Nine of Swords energy of the past. The block is your own energetic frequency. It's time to replenish for you. Okay, Miss Kath, got to replenish you before you can do anything. All right, Miss Jana's birthday. We have any blocks for love, money, and passion? It's her birthday today, the day of the Hierophant and the Temperance energy, turning pain into wisdom, lead into gold, water to wine. All right. The block, Jana, here is that there's too much risk, or you feel like it's not worth the risk. But opening your heart is always taking a risk, and it's one that's worth taking. Work on building your confidence and feeling safe within yourself. And then that helps us feel safe in our emotions. And then we feel this is all feelings here. So your block is your feelings here, and needing to really build up your confidence, do something fun, go and have a good time. Okay, that is always going to be a way to change that frequency of energy immediately. And on the bottom of the deck are energies surrounding you. Maybe you've attracted a person or someone in your environmental energy that their fears are then kind of added into your own fishbowl as other people's energies do. It changes the alchemy of our own fishbowl. So this person or you need to open your heart and trust. And again, with this risk, we're not putting ourselves out there, Miss Jana. So put yourself out there and put your birthday crown on and go big. Again, this is a lot of go big or go home energy there. Okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling down here. Tell me why. What's relevant? You did like the Aces read too, Crystal. Thank you. I think it's a fun way too. Brandy work, Kathy love, Judy balance. Let's get Judy's balance here. Jude. What is blocking diplomacy for Miss Judy Jude here? What is blocking diplomacy? What is blocking even Stevens? Being too guarded. If you're lonely, it's because you're so aloof. Trust others and let them into your heart. So there's a reason I was talking about the trust thing, because I feel like our generation was taught you don't trust anyone. Everybody's stranger danger. So, and really a healthier way is like, I'm trusting in myself, therefore I give others trust. I only can give out in what's within me. Give them the trust, give them a chance. Girl, you know how to pick up red flags. You got that spidey sense. And then when someone gives you a reason not to trust them, take it at their word. And that's it. But we don't have to put up those walls that then become our own prison. Environmental energy. We joked last night about the Love Stinks song. You've stopped believing in love. Okay, so let yourself heal so that you can be open again. That's why we're putting up walls here, honey, like big time ones. Not everybody's an ass hat. Okay, not everybody's big hat, no cattle. Trust yourself to know the difference, because you always will. You always would know. Work, please, for Miss Ash. What is blocking work energies for Ashley, please? And thank you. Kathy says, I'm not surprised. Oh, Ashley, what's blocking diplomacy and balance within work? What's blocking even Stevens, equal energy in or out? Input, output. What is blocking input or output regarding work for Miss Ashley Nova Soul Star? Okay. So regards to work, though, through the context of work, maybe you're afraid that, oh, they're just gonna hire someone, fill in the better than blank at me at doing X, right? Opening your heart to trust your talents, believing in what you do. Okay, there's a place for everyone within working situations. We're all good at different things. So instead of fearing how somebody else may be better, or that they're just going to replace you with somebody else, trust in your own self and your abilities is going to then draw in either clients for your business. That trust in yourself. I feel like I want to pull another one for you. Environmental energy, waiting for love to save you, but you must stop waiting and start looking. Okay, that feels more relationshipy to me. Okay, and definitely avoid diving all in too quickly. Anything else for work for Ashley? Oh my gosh. Speaking of that Love is Blind, France, if anybody's seen it, let me know in the chat, because this girl, banging body, stunning, just freaking gorgeous. And the jealousy, like she was so freaking paranoid. I'm like, that girl, it doesn't matter what she looks like on the outside, because she's literally going to sabotage everything. Well, who are you going with? Who's going to be there? What's going to happen? When they say they're going to do something, okay, have fun. Go do something yourself. Bye. Okay. Like just that kind, I just could not, my mouth dropped to the floor. I was like, people judge, right? They think, oh, just because she's beautiful and she's got a banging body, she must be super confident in herself. And it was literally the antithesis of confidence. It was over the top. It was unbelievable. It was kind of sad, actually. Sorry for that tangent, but in case anybody needed to hear that or wants to check out this show, the France version was worth it. Not unlike the last American version was trash. A bunch of baby men. It was terrible. Oh, I was so disappointed in Americans. There we go. Okay. Another block may be, sorry, Ash, we're going on a tangent there. You need to take time for yourself and heal past trauma. So those blocks might be not allowing your star energy to connect. These are lamps and lanterns. Really examine and be confident. You've done a lot of amazing things in your life, right? It's not just this one thing now, but how did you get to accomplishing those amazing things, right? Maybe there's a little bit of energy of like, where's the clients? Where's the customers coming in the door? I don't hear the bell on the door ringing. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? And then we actually unintentionally push away that energy just due to physics. Where are they? There's no good clients. There's no good customers. Nobody's buying anything. Okay. So try to shift into that. Who do I get to meet today? I wonder what's going to be the most popular thing that people are going to buy. I hope that helps a little bit there, Miss Ashley there. Okay, Jennifer, what is blocking Jennifer's enjoyment? That's a great question. What is blocking Jennifer's enjoyment? What's the blocking diplomacy or balance? What's blocking her enjoyment? Okay. Expectations, because that slows down our manifestations. Okay. And if we set such a high bar, then, and then when people don't inevitably meet that high or exact expectation, it's, we can write them off and say, no, it wasn't meant to be. A block to your enjoyment is procrastination and leaving too quickly when things get challenging. Stay the course. Okay. Don't just give up. Don't hold, it says expectations on yourself too here. Why are we holding ourselves to such a rigid standard? Okay. Like an all or nothing energy here. When stuff's not coming together right away, we're like, oh, maybe wasn't meant to be. Crossing energy boundaries. You need to hold good boundaries so that you don't feel violated. Okay, that we can definitely run away from things too soon when we need to really work on boundaries within our own selves and how we hold ourselves accountable to such a high standard, but then people around us, our boundaries aren't high enough and they can zap our energy. Okay. So the stick with itness, Jennifer, believe in yourself. Okay. Definitely those high expectations or a specific expectation rather than manifesting the feeling of what you want to have. If we have a set expectation, it takes the longer for the universe then to line that up for us. Okay. And being so demanding of yourself. Okay. Yeah. You can't have all these high expectations for your own self. And then when it comes to other people, you're like, oh, step right over. Because the fence is this high, but it's this high for you and your own self. Okay. Blocking enjoyment. Oh, thank you, Miss Judy. Monique, family and relationships. Thank you, Judy. Monique, what is blocking family and relationships? What are blocks? No. Anything blocking family or relationships for Miss Monique? What is a block here? Need to be clear on what it is that you want. It's saying you need clarity before you get involved in something. So that will be the 7 cups of where Mars is sitting right now, getting ready to shift tomorrow. We're not quite there yet. When we get to the last deacon and Scorpio, you might get some clarity here. And if we're confused over someone or something, then no is the answer. We should not be confused. If someone's giving us double messages, right, for example, then that is the answer. They just stringing us along. And if they can't give you an answer, then there's the boundary. That's where we put up the boundary. And your environmental energy, yeah, giving too much. You're depleted because you give of yourself too much. You need a balance of give and take. If the block is confusion, this person or persons or situation is leaving me confused, it's because you're always the giver. Maybe that's the role that you were kind of assigned in some way, or that's the role that you took on. And especially allowing someone to still be in our life that is not willing to make things clear for us. That's not victory. That's keeping us stuck. They're doing that on purpose. Okay. There could be a lot of things as far as family issues that you're not aware of what's going on. Let me shuffle my deck here. I want to get you one more to see if I can get any more clarity on what might be blocking you here. It's confusion. We'll definitely do it. Blocks for Monique and family and relationships. Our expectations, again, no one can ever measure up when we set the bar so high. And it might be ditch your list, want what's real. Okay. If I think the expectation needs to be, you need to be clear with me. Okay. You need to be clear for you what you will and will not accept. I really feel like we need to do that fun exercise for a date night soon. It's super fun times. I would get to make my teachery graphics again. The bottom of the deck here. So settling. Don't stay with someone who isn't right just because we're used to their energy, right? That would be settling. I feel like this is you're not expecting enough here. If someone is not being clear with you, having the expectation that they be clear, like that's low on the totem pole. Like that should be just a given. And when people aren't that way, that's not our problem. It's because of their own insecurities or attachment style. And then we start picking up those broken birds, right? So I certainly don't want you to be settling in love, and certainly not in family that you choose. Okay. Be clear. Like you should not be confused on this. Okay. We got to push a little bit deeper of if we're in that dark cave, why are we allowing ourselves to stay in the dark? If it's not clear, then they need to walk until they are clear. If they're not clear, you need to be clear. Okay. Always chasing or being chased. Okay. All right. Crystal relationship. You did, Judy made a list a long ago. And it's not like, oh, I want this person to make this much money and have dark hair and light eyes and have this kind of a job and drive this kind of a car. Not like that. It's their adjectives, their character traits, right? And sometimes we think we know what we want, but then when pressed with, yeah, but which one out of those 100 that we chose, that's our wish list, what's the top 10? What is most important? What makes us happy? Are we that to ourselves? Do we hold the same character trait? And then we then have a logic litmus test to refer back to, right? Crystal, blocks for crystal. And look at that. Mixed, you just told the whole spiel to Miss Monique here. You don't let others know that you're interested. Flirt and be approachable. So if you are sending mixed signals, okay, maybe they're unavailable or you are just yet. So if you're giving mixed signals, they don't know if you're available or not. I think being more clear will help unblock your energy. Lessons on flirting, you certainly don't want to come to me for that. I am the worst. Just ask my friends. Yes. Legend of long time of terrible. It's just embarrassingly atrocious. Okay. Environmental energy. Be open to other types than you're used to here, because you may be surprised with what you find here. I think getting your own, like, again, being approachable, like people say that, oh, they're so nice looking, they're never going to want to talk to me. Bolsheviks, you have no idea. They have no idea. And again, I'm not the one to ask about flirting advice. If Monica was still here, you could ask Monica, but I am historically atrociously terrible at it. I feel like, yeah, that is the block. Like, are you available? Are you not? It's just kind of that little bit of aloofness. Okay, Crystal. All right here. I know, it's so exciting that it's your birthday. You're welcome, Miss Diana. Blocks around relationships, please. Blocks for Diana around relationships. I'm still freaking out about those damn feet. I was like, what? That was funny. Okay. Okay, not sharing your feelings. You need to express how you feel, so that they see and feel your truth in return. Okay. You got to take a chance and spit it out. Let them know how you feel. And that's whether that's good or bad. Bite the bullet there. Yeah, because ambivalence. You say you want a lover, but you're not all in. This could be someone around you. Take time to figure out what you want. These are literally the same things. If someone around you is ambivalent, you have to give into the energy and let them know how you feel so that they open up in return. You can't solve things or figure out compatibility if we're not talking about it, right? Let me get anything else for Diana for relationships. So just be honest and open with how you're feeling, whether that's, hey, I'm really nervous about this date, or I'm really scared to start something new, or I'm scared to have a redo because of blank, blank, and blank. Okay, some kind of obsession or addiction. And that can be a person, place, or thing. That's our double frequency of energy. That can be just fears. Okay. Shadow aspects. We can definitely be addicted because our body gets used to the up and down of the chemicals in our body of tumultuous relationships, especially within that anxious and avoidant dynamic that will leave you stuck endlessly. And we think, oh, I love them, but really it's just that feeling of the highs and lows. Okay. whoever's around you here, you might feel like you're settling. You might feel like it's just safe because that's the devil you know. Well, they still the devil, right? And that's just your fear trying to convince yourself, oh, just stay here because out there in the big wide world, that might just feel too scary. But that's our fear talking. So if you're afraid, say you're afraid. Okay. If you want to feel more abundant in love, what does that mean? And how do you feel abundance of love for yourself? So that's the frequency you want to pull in. Okay. I hope that helps you there. Millennial princesses. I think that you're so welcome, Miss Jennifer. Welcome, Kathy. You're welcome, Miss Monique. Personality. You just need vodka. Oh my gosh. Your daughter's watching something on ostriches. That's very, very cute. Well, guys, thanks for hanging with me once again for date night. I appreciate you and your energies as always. Don't forget to check out the Angi-Notes for the energies of today to get more information and more depth on the reading that we pulled based on those energies for today. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. See you now. See you later.